What's up, you nerds? Today we're gonna go over some quick debugging tools for they're for JavaScript, but we're gonna use them in Decentraland. So we're gonna start by just going into your code. This is just a component for this box thing I've been creating. I'll make it public eventually, and it's actually pretty cool, but it's outside of the scope of what I want to talk about. So I'm gonna type in anywhere in my code right now. I'm gonna type in the word debugger. This is just a regular JavaScript function, one of the lesser known ones, and I don't know why. So I just hit save, and it refreshed, but nothing happened. And that's mostly because I don't have my developer tools open. So in order to use this in Chrome, it actually works in Firefox too. You hit the little dot dot dot, you go to more tools, and you go to developer tools. This thing will pop up. Some of you are familiar with something like this. But now, when I resave, it's going to reload that page. Right, and look what it did. Oh boy, it stopped exactly in my code where I wrote the debugger. And it's actually halted the JavaScript at this moment. So I can continue the execution by just hitting this to hit play. I can jump in and out of functions. There's some tools here to kind of just continue on in various different ways. Do I go into a function? Do I just skip a function, etc., etc.? It's pretty complicated. You got to mess around with it a little bit. Sometimes you'll jump into code and you don't want to, and sometimes you'll skip code you want to go into. So just play around if you want to continue on. But for the most part, most people just want to stop the code and take a look. If you want to kind of ignore this debugger at any point in time, you can just hit this and this little button here, and then hit play, and it'll just continue on, and you don't have to worry. And then you can enable it and disable it. That's an important part. But let's take a look at what it actually did. So it stopped my code right here. And it's already showing me some variables over here. So at this point in time when the code stopped, this variable, and I can hover over it too and I can get a good look at it, it's showing me what the values of it are. So I got X, Y, Z, I got doing some UV mapping stuff. I can hover over pretty much anything in here and get an idea of what the variables are. So let's see what else. I can actually go into console. I have some logs going. You could ignore that. But I can type in this. And you'll notice it's auto-completing. So it stopped the code in the middle of the scope of my current entity class. And it's showing me all of the different variables and stuff that I have in there. And down here it's actually showing me what it is. If I hit enter, it's going to just execute this. And now I can actually look at what my entity has. So there's a lot of functions and methods and stuff that are in this class that I maybe wasn't aware of in the past, and now I do. I have a bunch of things that I've declared. I got each side of this box that I have. They're individual variables. I can open up any of these things. I can take a look at what a box shape actually has in it. Right. So this gives me a good visibility into what is there, what I maybe can mess with. Some of it isn't even documented. And now let's see what we would want to do here. I got a couple bugs that I'm trying to solve at the moment, some of which I probably won't be able to fix. Might have to report. But I also have over here, if I go to sources again on this tab, this whole right hand side is really useful. If you notice where my cursor is right now, there's that scope. So this is showing me all of the variables that I have locally. Right, when I typed in this, that's exactly what it kind of dumped out for the most part. Right, all of this stuff, right, when I typed in. There's also closure, which is these are kind of like the call stack for my function. So these are the other variables that exist somewhere within the scope. Pretty common stuff. Audio clip, audio source. We got our camera. We got everything in here. And oh, there's our engine. There we go. I can take a look at it in here. Alternatively, because I have access to this, it's frozen. I can come in here. I get an engine. And it's auto-completing everything. So when I hit dot, it's going to show me all the different things that are in the engine. We want to see all the entities. So I can hit enter. I don't have too much going on right now. But we got these guys. We got a first-person camera. We got our avatar entity reference. But this is just to kind of give you an idea of how to poke around at the code and see where everything is. Also with sources, I can use watch. And here I had another variable from, I guess, a different project. I was looking for a server variable. I'm going to delete it. But what this allows you to do is kind of bounce through your code. You keep hitting play. And whatever whatever you declare a variable here, it's going to tell you what it is. So we're going to do that real quick. We're going to just say what variable is interesting to me at this moment. I have like these sides here, right? So I'm going to come in a watch. I'm going to hit this. I'm going to put in sides. Right now, at the part of the code that is being executed, I haven't declared that variable just yet. So I can continue on with my code. So I'm going to also do one other thing. I'm going to insert a thing called a breakpoint. So right over around here, I'm going to click on the number of the line. Now I have basically set a marker. So when it gets to this part of the code, it's going to stop completely. I'm going to hit play. It's going to resume the code. It's going to do all of the other stuff until it gets to line 215, and it's going to stop. And you know it stopped because it has this blue highlight here. And now we see something. Sides, right? Now I have an array of 6. I can open this up, and I can take a look and see what's going on. And it'll continue on and do whatever. But let's say I wanted to inspect. I'm using a function. I'm actually calling a certain function on every one of these. And I noticed that one of my sides is kind of messed up. And I'm rotating some points here, so I want to change that. So let's go to debugger. Let's throw it in here. Actually, do I still have the existing debugger? Actually, it's a question. Yes, I do. I'm going to remove this one. I just don't need it at the moment where it is. Okay, so I have it only here on this rotate points. I'm going to hit save. The code's going to execute. Maybe it gets to that point finally. And now this is going to just happen over and over and over again. I'm going to do watch. I'm going to add another one to watch. I'm going to leave that one because I might want it. And I want to say points. Right? It's another variable that's in this little area. Right? So these are all the points. And because I'm iterating over an array, this is going to happen a number of times for each side of my cube that I've created. So I'm going to hit resume. And we notice that we have a different set of points. So it just kind of continued on. Continue on, right? So I'm actually able to just kind of see every instance of this, which is pretty cool. You can also do something where you say, you can also set a condition for your debugger too. So you might have a bunch of code and there's only, under one instance there actually is a problem. So you can actually put this in an if statement. So you can say like, if p.x is greater than 0, run debugger, right? Actually, it's not. Is it points? Let's say points 0 .0.x. But you can just set a conditional, just whatever it may be. So hopefully that was like kind of useful to somebody out there. I love you. Bye bye.